quarterbacks all the time. Like, you just got to be like the unit, and it just takes one play. You know, when Jackson threw his first touchdown, whatever it was, and then he gets wrong with it, you know what I mean? And that's what we talk about all the time. Like, ignite the unit and just be loose, have fun, let it fly, and good things happen. And I think that, that was a good example of that, with how Jackson, it takes one throw and then he was balling the rest of the time.
Hey, what's he kind of just showed you over the course of these couple weeks?
Trig is very talented, obviously. He's physically gifted, has a lot of ability, and he can make plays. So he's done a good job. And you know, I think the last couple of days have probably been his best days, partially because he's starting to learn a little better and get more comfortable in it, and that's a lot of the battle. So he just has to keep stacking good days. And like I said, I think his last 2 days it's no question, have been his best 2 days. And yesterday, he didn't get the ball as often, but did a lot of good things, like understand the routes, getting open, and the ball just didn't find him. And then today, he does the same thing. He has another good day. The ball does find him a couple times, and it makes the play. So, with him, I think that's the most important thing. Just continue to get comfortable, continue to learn how to get better, and do his job at a really high level, because he has a ton of talent.
For the offensive line, you guys have the rest of this week and then the mock week. I'm just curious, how much more conversation is left in terms of determining those 5 spots and starting 5 spots? How much can that switch between now and what's left of practice?
I think we just continue to evaluate every day, and I think that's always the deal. And we got a lot of the guys playing pretty good ball out there, And so the other thing is we've tried to move them around and play them in different spots. Obviously, we have positions that they're the most comfortable with, and they're probably the most effective at that. But that position, it's hard to you're gonna have bumps and bruises, and guys might be out for a play or two. And so I think it's important that we just continue to give as many guys reps at different positions and different lineups, because you never know who's going to be where and what's going to happen. So that's kind of what we've been doing, and we'll continue to do, is evaluate guys at all different spots and figure out what lineup gives us our best chance to be successful and roll with it. And if we got shuffling around, or if someone goes down, and we'll have a lot of reps built into a lot of guys.
I know you like to rotate your receivers, but how tight is that battle just to be those guys right after Drake? And like, it seems like that's a pretty close group in terms of who might actually fit into that starting lineup.
For sure, and it seems like every day a different guy has a good day, and that's to me, that's what competition does. When you have a lot of guys that a lot of guys that are trying to get on the football field, and a lot of talented players, it makes the other guys better, And so, like I said, it kind of seems like each day someone else is having a big day, which is good. So we'll have to figure that out. But that's a good issue, man. Like I said, we have a lot of guys playing hard, doing some good things. A lot of guys of this is still the first year too, though, that are in that group. And so, I think that it's going to be really important to continue just to get reps and get practice and get those guys comfortable, and there's no hesitation in it, because I think that's the key is to get them to the point where there's no thinking, they're just playing fast, and because when they do that, we have some guys that can make some plays. And so that's the key. And like I said, I think that there's a lot of guys that we're going to have to get reps, and when it's that close, I think probably in games we'll sub a lot more and keep guys fresh, and give a lot of guys opportunities. And like I said, when you're fresh, you're at your best. So that'd be a good issue to have.
Is it hard on a quarterback to try to develop chemistry with so many different guys?
No, I mean, throw it to the open one, you know what I mean? Like, that's not overcomplicated. No, we, I think on deep balls maybe, because everyone's just a little bit different on that. But on most routes, 90% of routes, on slants, on posts, on outs of any depth, on comebacks, anything except really down the field, I think most guys are going to be in the same place. You know what I mean? And we're trying to get them to the same place, and that's the key, so that quarterback, it's not like, well, he's in, so it's going to be here, and he's in, it's going to be here. Pushing it on the field, I do think that you kind of have to know who it is, and each guy's a little bit different. And so, from that standpoint, I do think that there's some chemistry involved in it. On most of the other routes, I think that we're trying to get everyone in the same spot at the same time, to eliminating that, you know. And so, from a deep ball standpoint, yes, I think that it takes a lot of reps, but that's the way that, I mean, that's one of the reasons that practice is designed the way it is, to get a lot of reps with a lot of different people, so the quarterback gets to know them, and whether it be one-on-one or routes on air, whatever the case may be, so the quarterback's throwing a lot of balls to each guy, and hopefully gets comfortable throwing each person.
When you put together,
what's he done to earn your trust?
You know, I just think he's been very consistent, and obviously he's a talented player. He's made a lot of plays, but probably most importantly, the most important thing he's done is show up every day, be consistent, and do his job. You know, and that's as important as anything. And so he's a great kid. He works hard. He you know, he's learned quickly to be a freshman. He's picked it up well. That's another huge part of playing this game is being smart and knowing what to do. And if you do that, it just makes you a lot more versatile, you know. And so we've been able to move him around, and he's got a lot of reps, and he continues to execute and make plays. And so you know, if you can count on someone, if you can depend on them and they know what to do, it makes it a lot easier to throw him in there, and he's done a good job of that.
Let's do one more.
Did it feel like during his recruitment, like you guys had found a diamond in the rough, or did it? Because I know when we talked to Curie about it, he made it sound like it was so obvious that this guy was as good as he is, but it seemed like no one else realized it.
Yeah, turn on his high school tape and see what you think.
That's what he said.
Yeah, it's true.
Just no one watched it, I guess.
You know, he every game he's going for like 250 total yards and 4 touchdowns. And like, good football players are good football players, you know. And so, like I said, I don't think it's real hard to see if you watch the tape that he's a really talented football player, and he understands it. He makes plays. He's good with the ball in his hands. You know, they play him at quarterback, they play him at receiver, they put him all over the place, and everywhere he was, he made big plays. And so when you have a guy like, and he's playing at the highest level of, you know, Texas football. I mean, at a really high division in Texas high school football in the city of Houston with great athletes. It's not like he's not playing against good competition, you know. And so, like I said, I think we evaluated him well, but I think if you watch his tape, I think most people would say that's a really good football player.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.